Thank you. Disclaimer lang ha. Kaya po verified plus, kaya only. Kasi nagsara na yung program na yan.
Kasi wala
Binuksan
na
nila,
kasunod.
wala na yung program, wala na kasunod. Kaya yun, kaya ako na lang yung first, saka yung only.
Saka yung
I don't
only.
think
Oh. At
Oo.
least,
Kasi
title mo na yung forever. Kasi tapos na yung program.
tapos na yung program. Parang ang tawag na nila ngayon ay ClickUp partners. Magkakasama na pati mga reseller, pati mga consultant. So, the one and only.
Yan, the one
Filipino
and
Verified Plus.
verified plus. Okay.
Yun yung
Thank you so much, Ninang.
caption.
Take it away. I'll leave the stage to you.
Ayun, thank you. Ayan, I hail all the way from Singapore. Ayun, nag-ano ako dito, umattend tayo ng conference, tapos nag-food trip din tayo. So baka mamaya, sorry ha, baka dumating yung Grab ko, medyo mag-step away lang ako, or kailangan mo kong i-cover, baka tumawag yung Grab. Okay, so the topic for today is a little bit like an extension of the first session last time. Kasi meron din nag-comment dun sa YouTube na paano daw yung ganito, paano daw yung ganyan. So from the previous video, so we thought we'd extend the demo. Pero this time, kasi before I just showed you kung ano yung possibilities, kung ano yung pwedeng gawin, 'di ba? So parang patikim dun sa mga automations na pwedeng gawin. And again, disclaimer ha, hindi ako programmer, hindi ako coder, hindi ako IT specialist. So, the idea here is that kaya talaga siyang aralin. And the way to learn it and to really acquire this skill is to show you the different use cases. So, yun yung gagawin natin ngayon. Magiging step-by-step tutorial talaga siya para makita nyo kung paano siya ginagawa. Kasi I think you learn more on the experience compared sa pakikinig ka lang, manonood ka lang ng video. So, practice talaga. Kaya din binigay namin yung links to ClickUp and Make para after this video, this is gonna be posted anyway dun sa student portal din namin for those who have registered to the course and also sa YouTube channel. So you can rewatch it and then sundan siya step by step. All right? Okay. So we thought yung i-discuss namin today is one of the automations na most requested ng clients. So once na itong automation na to, once na magawa nyo siya on your own, pwede nyo na siyang i-offer sa client kasi marami talagang nagre-request, most requested. So imagine we're giving that to you for free. Kaya niya talaga siyang gawin. And to do this, there are a few things that you need from your end. First would be kailangan natin ito yung mga use cases. So bakit namin pinili tong Google Doc generation use case? Marami siyang pwedeng paggamitan. Based on our last video, yung invoice file generation, hindi namin kailangan mag-subscribe to an invoice platform to generate our invoices kasi pwede siyang gawin through the document via automation. So that's one, invoice creation, di ba? Same thing, pwede rin quotes. Pag mag-create ka ng quotes or proposal. Another thing would be, we've done it for para silang service technicians. And then, kailangan nila mag-generate ng service reports. So, nag-fill out lang sila ng form and then the report gets created in a PDF. Tapos, yun na, hindi na nila kailangan i-manually edit yung PDFs nila. Another thing is, for example, sa HR. HR naman, employment certificate. Sa team namin, madami nagre-request ng contractor's certificate pag kailangan nila for, let's say, loan or application, visa, ganyan. So, kailangan nila yon. At least, it's automatic na. Hindi na kailangan mag-spend ng time ng HR namin to manually create that. And agreements and proposals and contracts sa aming mga clients, automated na rin siya. So the good thing about that is hindi na kailangang mag-intay ng matagal ni client. Mas mataas yung possibility na ma-close namin yung deal kasi mabilis at efficient yung process. Okay, so ito yung mga kailangan natin to perform or execute this automation. Kailangan natin ng Google Doc template. I'm gonna show you how to create that. And then, of course, if you want to try this on your own, you need to have a Make automation, make.com subscription. I sent you the link, yung QR earlier, so you can use the free account. At least meron siyang 1,000 operations available. So just for trial, you can try it. Anyway, it's very cheap. I actually pay $20 per month for it. So around 1,000. Pero the amount of hours that we save using make.com, siguro more than 100 a month. And then, kailangan nyo rin ng ClickUp list or any database that you're, in this case, I'm going to be using a ClickUp list. Iba kasi yung magiging trigger if we use a Google Sheet. So those are the things that we need. So question, bakit hindi tayo gagamit? Bakit tayo gagawa ng automation for doc generation? Bakit hindi tayo gumamit ng PandaDoc? Di ba? Doc generation din yun or contracts. DocuSign, yun yung mga sikat. DocuSign, PandaDoc. For us, we also use sign requests sa team namin. So bakit natin hindi gagamitin yung mga software na yun? So for me, I would only suggest for you to subscribe to PandaDoc or DocuSign kung ang mga kontrata, proposals, at mga docs nyo na kailangang pirmahan is mataas yung volume. Okay? Pero kung ito ay mangilan-ngilan lang naman, parang hindi ka mag-ROI or it's not worth the investment to subscribe to yet another software kung hindi naman 100 kada linggo yung gine-generate mo na document, di ba? Pangalawa, bakit tayo mag-automate? Bakit hindi na lang manual? Pwede naman itong i-edit, di ba? Yes, pwede talaga. Pwede kang mag-create ng template sa, let's say, ang ginagamit ng iba, Excel, tapos lalagyan na lang mga values yung mga cells, tapos download sa PDF. Pwede yun, yes. Pero what's the power of automation, di ba? With automation, mami-minimize yung error, yung mamali ka lang ng spelling, kunwari, back account ilalagay mo, mamali ka lang ng number, di ba? Ang laking risk na, ang laking error. And potentially loss sa company kung magkamali ka. Another thing is, siguro hindi naman ganun ka grabe na loss agad, mabankrupt agad. For example, ako ayoko kunwari sa client, makikita nila na mali yung spelling, mali yung value, kasi lalo na pag sa kanila pa nanggaling na, uy, mali yung ganito, mali yung ganyan, medyo, it affects your brand, your reputation, di ba? So, make sure na you're putting out quality. Yung sa trabaho mo, it reflects the quality of your work. And that will eventually build your reputation, your integrity, at yung client experience is gonna be great, di ba? So once they see that, ay, ang bilis nila, ang galing nila, efficient nila, tama yung process nila. So makikita ni client na, okay, this is a good company to work with, di ba? So that's the power of automation. Marami siyang impact, hindi lang yung nare-reduce yung time. Meron din siyang effect, of course, impact sa credibility mo as a service provider. Okay, so again, we're showing you you can take a picture muna and then you can do that later if you want to really test this out and try it. Okay, so medyo malaki tong workflow na to. Pinasimple ko na siya and then tinry ko na rin na mag-create ng prototype kasi para maiwasan natin yung mga syempre pag automation medyo problem solving yan, trial and error, magdi-debug ka. So what I tried while waiting here, hindi ako napag-Universal Studio para makapag-prepare para sa inyo. Kasi kailangan kong i-make sure na the automation is working before ko i-share sa inyo. Okay, so I need to share my screen. Mag-join lang ako sa laptop.
Ayan, it loaded.
Okay. Okay. Sino po dito yung naka-register and part of our student base dun sa batch 1? So ang team namin ay ML player. So ang name ng batch namin ay Batch Layla. Yan, ang paboritong hero ng mga newbie. So yung mga students nakasali na sa batch namin, first batch, you should have received access to our sandbox. And this is actually our sandbox, what I'm showing you right now. So I created lang a sample. I'll make this public siguro para makita din ng mga students if they want to see it. Yan. So if you are invited here, makikita nyo yan, yung for the Community Connect for today. The first thing that we need to do is to create a list. So in this case, I created a proposal list. And then some of the fields that I included would be a client name, project value, which is a dollar amount, and then proposal would be a long text. Let me just add a sample. A sample client. Yeah. Okay. Tapos itong si project value, this is a money field in dollars. Proposal is a long text. Tapos I just added a latest comment and then this is a website. Yan, link. So ito yung mga fields na kailangan natin for this setup. If you want to know how to create list or add custom fields, pwede niyong balikan yung previous ComCon natin about invoice form or forms. So I showed you how to easily create or add fields in the list view. It's actually by clicking here. Yan. Diyan yung easiest way, fastest way to add fields sa isang list. All right, so the next thing we need would be, we actually need the Google Doc template. So I already created one. So this is an important piece kasi dito natin ilalagay yung proposal. Okay, so ito yung template. So make sure na you create it sa Google Sheet. If it's a Microsoft Doc, you might have to convert it to Google Sheet kasi minsan pag dinownload mo, Microsoft file siya. So it will actually appear here na docx siya. Ibig sabihin Microsoft file pa rin siya. So you really need to make sure na ito ay Google Sheet. So just to be safe, just put it in Google Sheet. So tip lang sa pag-create ng template, you can add a header here para yung logo nyo, you can add as the header para all pages meron. I also added a footer here for the proposal ID. So this is like a document control number. And then the main thing that you need to understand is the fields or yung mga variables na data. Makikita nyo, they are enclosed in brackets. Yeah, so this is the proper format that you need to remember. Ayan, merong bracketed things here. Ayan, yung mga parang, ayan, tawag dito. Basta double bracket. Tapos, I don't use space in between. So, make sure na when you're naming the variables or the parameters that it's very self-explanatory, na hindi kayo malilito. So, for example, day-to-day. And again, no spaces, no spaces. I just use dash here. So, this will be the client name, company name. So, wag nyo lang ilagay na name, di ba? So, it has to be very specific kung customer name ba to, company name ba to, and then the proposal would be a long text, project value, and whatever format you put in here. So, for example, this is in bold. It will respect whatever you put in terms of, if I put this in red, it's also going to be in red once the doc is generated. So those are just the things that you need to create. And again, this is a sample. If you don't know what to put, I can share with you this template if you want to use it. Lagi naman na pwede naman kayo magtanong kay ChatGPT kung paano yung format na gusto nyo. Okay, that's the second step. And so, pupunta na tayo dun sa workflow. Okay. So what I want to do is whenever merong proposal dito, excuse me. So our goal is to eventually create a proposal in Google Doc. So in order to achieve that, first, kailangan natin ng brief about the project. So the automation that we're going to do is that from that brief, we will use ChatGPT to provide a project proposal, a draft proposal. And then once we're done with the draft, we will do a manual checking. And then once we're happy with that, we can actually generate a PDF or send the link to our clients. So ultimately, we want to create, or we want to make the proposal generation and sending workflow in today's call. All right, so if you have questions in between, medyo may konting technical, pero kayang-kaya natin yan. So just follow the steps, all right? So the first automation that we need to create would be, punta lang kayo sa Make. Yan. So once you log into Make, ito yung makikita nyo. So this is our own account. And then you can click the Create a Scenario at the top. So best practice, of course, make sure na pangalanan nyo yung automation nyo. We also add like a numbering system for each scenario or automation that we do. Okay, so this part right here, we have to think about the trigger of the automation. So the trigger that I want is, I actually added like a status for the proposals. So I want to trigger the automation pag nilagay ko sa draft status. And then yung generate doc status naman is when the doc gets generated. So we're gonna put status change as the trigger. So this is the trigger, this is the module. We're gonna choose ClickUp, of course. If it's not here, sa suggestions, you can always use the search. All right. And then choose ClickUp. And these are the triggers available. Usually yung mga watch, nag-start sa watch, yun yung mga triggers. Okay. If it's not a watch module, ibig sabihin it's an action. So what we want to do is use watch task. Okay. Tapos yung mapapansin nyo, meron siya parang lightning na symbol dito. That means it's instant. Mabilis. Ibig sabihin, the moment na mangyari yung event, matitrigger na tong automation na to. Meron kasing ibang automations na hindi siya instant. Ibig sabihin, either every hour, you can set that's called the polling trigger. Pwedeng every minute, every 15 minutes. So, kung hindi naman kailangang instant, or may mga trigger kasi na hindi available yung instant. Wala tayong choice. Pero in this case, this will get triggered instantly. Okay, so mapapansin nyo, pag may red dot yan, ibig sabihin, you need to set it up. Hindi pa siya fully set up. So if you left click on the module, the first thing you need to do is to add a connection. So if I click add, I'm not sure if it's going to show on the screen. If you click add, this is the window that will pop up. Next, click add ulit. So in this case kasi, meron ng mga connected accounts. But if you don't have any connected accounts yet, just click add again. And then I will name the account kasi medyo marami kaming account para hindi ako malito. And then click save. What will show on the screen, it's not showing right now, but it will ask me to log in dun sa ClickUp account. Okay, so it's not gonna show, but it's asking me to log in, put my username and password. So let me do that right now. Real quick. All right, so I now have to choose our sandbox kasi we have our official one. Okay, so once connected na, as you can see, nakalagay na doon yung account. The trick here is just to follow the prompts. Pag nakita nyo na may asterisk yan, that means it's required. Pag walang asterisk, ibig sabihin, it's okay, it's optional. So we need to choose the workspace. The workspace should be the VCPH sandbox. So once it's connected, you'll only have one option here naman pag isa lang yung account nyo. So in this case, I'm going to use this. This is our sandbox. And then you can filter where you want the action or the event to take place. So in this case, it's a particular list. If you want the automation to get triggered in the space level or folder level, you can also choose that. In this case, this is just going to be a list. Ito, yung proposal natin ay list. Anyway, wala namang ibang list dito sa space na to. But just to be very specific, it's actually in the proposal list. So I'm choosing list here. And then you have to locate kung saan nakalagay yung list na yon. Kung marami kayong space. So I put ComCon there para madaling hanapin. And it's a folder-less list. And then proposals should come up there. All right, so you just have to select. And then the event type is status update. Yeah, so I'm going to choose that. These are the other options available. Okay. All right, so we're done. We clicked save. We're done with the trigger module. The next part would be, and this is always the case with make.com, we're going to add another module. To add another module, click nyo lang yung plus sign right next to the first module, which is the trigger module, and then choose ClickUp again. Next module na kailangan natin is to get a task. All right. So, bakit kailangan natin ng get a task? Yung watch task, sasabihin niya lang na, oy, nag-change na yung status nung task dun sa list na inaabangan mo. Okay, nag-change na. Anong task yon? Anong pangalan ng task name? Anong task ID? Hindi niya alam. Basta alam niya lang na nangyari yung event. It's just telling you na, hey, the event that you're watching out for happened. Pero to add more details about that event, yun, doon mo kailangan yung get a task. Kasi it will give you all the details that you need. So sa get a task, isa lang naman yung required parameter doon, which is the task ID. I-click mo yan, and this small window will appear. This small window will give you all the parameters or variables from the previous module. So as you can see, if I hover my mouse here, you see the circle dito sa left na parang nagbi-blink siya, nagpa-pump siya. That is just showing you na itong mga variables na ito is coming from that particular module. So imagine kung marami ka ng modules, hindi ka malilito kung saan ka kumukuha ng data. Kasi magbi-blink siya na parang gano'n. So dito sa field nito, we need to ask or add the task ID. And isa lang naman yung module na pagkuha natin ng task ID, the first module, may number dyan, number 1, that's module 1. And then i-click nyo lang yung task ID. Yeah, that's the only thing you need to do. And then click OK, the red dot should disappear. So that means we're all set. So balik tayo. Ang gusto natin, the moment na ma-change to draft status is ma-generate yung proposal using OpenAI. So the next module na kailangan natin gamitin is OpenAI. Ito. And then we're going to choose create a completion prompt. If you don't know how to create prompts, I think pwede mo na rin tanongin si OpenAI, si ChatGPT, kung anong magandang prompt. Okay? Earlier, I already created a sample prompt for this. For the model, just choose the latest. So usually, mas maganda yung result pag latest. And then, message, ilagay mo dito user, and then dito mo na ilalagay yung prompt mo. Just note that kung it actually, I think it requires a paid subscription for ChatGPT to use it sa make.com. It's around $20 per month. Pero to use the API, it's actually a different billing. So it's not the monthly subscription that you do. Meron pang parang credits na sasabihin naman dito, kung kailangan mong gumamit ng OpenAPI via API, eto, punta ka dito sa billing profile or billing section ng account mo. So this is on top of what I'm paying for monthly. Pero if you would see, ang billing history ko, I added $10 credits in April. And ang dami ko nang nagamit na API calls. Pero ang nagagamit ko pa lang ay 7. Meron pa rin akong $7 or $8. $2 pa lang. I think million calls na yung nagamit ko. So, sobrang sulit. Sobrang tipid. Okay? And then, dun naman sa prompt, you can use your own. But basically, we want to ask OpenAI to create a proposal draft. Mag-cheat ako, mag-ano na ako. Kokopihin ko na lang yung ginawa ko kanina. If you want to know more about prompt engineering, marami namang free courses. Si Google meron. Pero mag-cheat na ako. Ikakopy ko na lang ha. Kasi medyo mahaba eh. I created it here. Ito na siya. And then copy ka na lang. I'll also send the blueprint of this automation para you can apply it as a template. So what I did here is, hindi ito yun. Ito pala, draft proposal. So ang ginawa ko lang, kasi si OpenAI, meron naman silang mga prompt engineers. So pwede man tanungin, can you help me draft or create like a prompt for this particular task? And then yun, kinopya ko lang. Okay? So ito siya, bigyan mo siya ng context, bigyan mo siya ng objective, kung ano yung task, and then bigyan mo siya ng structure, saka formatting. So ito na lahat. Okay? Meron lang akong mga variables dyan na nilagay, which is the client name and the project brief. Actually, this is wrong. This is not in the right place. Yan. So copy ko lang yan. Dito ko siya ilalagay. And then I have to change, of course, yung mga variables kasi this is, tama naman, nagkataon naman na pareho lang. Pero let me show you how to add the variables. Okay. Kailangan kong kunin yung client name. Yung client name is gonna be coming from sa task sa ClickUp. Alright, so going back to ClickUp, ito yung sample task natin, si Ivango, yung client name. And then, ang company name is Ivango Pro. Now, I need to add a brief. Kokopya lang ako ng project brief dito. We're actually using Fiverr we're a Fiverr Pro professional. So, this is majority. Dito namin nakukuha yung mga leads namin majority. Yan. Ito, this is a project brief. I'll just add it dito kay Ivango Pro. So, I'll just put the project brief sa description. Yan. Okay. Going back, I need to get the client name and description. Yung description, yung project brief, nandun ko nilagay, di ba? So ito, description, mag-search lang kayo dyan. Ito na, mag-appear na yung description. Yung client name, hindi ko pa siya makuha. Mapansin nyo ba, hindi ko makuha yung client name. Why? Kasi wala pang existing data doon sa automation. So I need to run it at least maybe once para mag-appear yung data. So how do I do it? There's an option to get the data from a particular module by clicking run this, right-click mo lang siya and then run this module only, yung get a task. And then it's asking me to provide a task ID. So kukunin ko yung task ID nung sample data natin. You can either open it and then yung task ID would be in here. Pwede ring 3 dots and then copy ID. Yan, copy ID. Tapos, lagay ko na siya dito and then it will run. Once it runs, meron na siyang sample data. Ito yung sample data niya. Yan, nasa JSON format. So, pwede ko na siyang makuha dito sa succeeding modules. Mag-a-appear na siya. Let's see. Sana mag-appear siya. Ayan. So, pansin nyo, meron na siyang sample data. Unlike before na puro blanco lang. So, meaning, I can type in client name. Ayun, si client name, tapos lagay ko lang siya dito. Tapat ko lang siya dyan. Yan. So, ganyan maglagay ng variables sa automation. Okay, and then we're done. What I don't like, pag galing kay ChatGPT is, laging may mga hashtag yung formatting. So, I tried earlier to remove yung mga formatting para plain text lang. So, what I did is, I added another module para, ito siya, I added another module na assistant to rewrite it and remove all of the formatting. So, ito lang. Rewrite using plain text, don't use tables, remove asterisk, and lahat ng mga formatting na kaartehan ni ChatGPT. Okay. Ayan. So, ang i-rewrite niya is kung ano mang result nung previous module. Okay? Laging result yung variable. Ayan. Type mo lang result and then this is the previous module. Tapos, ilagay ko lang siya dito. Ayan. Okay, next. I added another module dun sa automation na I want ChatGPT to estimate the project. Okay? Para lang may idea ka. Pero most often than not, ine-edit ko pa yung project value na yon. Pero that should give me like a baseline. So, ang ginawa ko dito, copying ko na lang din yung prompt, is, sabi ko, please, I will send you a draft proposal and then provide a project value in US dollars. And then binigyan ko siya ng example. Kasi ilalagay ko to sa money field. Ang i-accept ng money field ay number format. Okay? So, copy ko lang yan. And then I will put it here. And then, syempre, yung proposal is coming from the previous module. Okay. Alright. And then, syempre, good practice is to always rename your module. Right-click mo lang yan and then rename. This is the part na dinraft niya yung proposal. This is the part na nire-write niya, nire-format niya. Yan. And then this is the part where nag-estimate siya. Para hindi ka malito din. Yan. Next. So, nagawa na natin. Ang kailangan natin gawin is kung ano man yung result ng OpenAI, ng ChatGPT, is ibalik niya dun sa ClickUp task. So, how do we do that? Go back, add another module, add ClickUp, and then edit a task with custom fields. So, may tatlong options. Pero in this case, see, edit a custom field. Ang pinili natin. Ito yata yung latest. Okay, piliin lang natin yung workspace, which is VCPH. And then, piliin natin ulit yung location, which is ComCon. Piliin natin yung list. This is a folderless list. And piliin natin yung proposal. Okay. So, hiningan tayo ng task ID. Ang task na i-edit natin ay kung ano naman yung task na na-trigger dito sa first two modules. So, what we need to do is map it. Ibig sabihin, variable to, hindi siya specific. Map it and then type task ID. And then get the, kahit ito or ito, whichever, it's gonna work. It's the same thing. Next, we're gonna edit, wait lang ha. I-edit na natin yung mga fields. So, yung project value, and then proposal. Ito yung proposal field. Yung proposal field, ang makukuha natin na value is from module 3, yung proposal module from ChatGPT. Ay, actually, sorry, mali. Yung result from the reformatting pala. Yung reformatted na. Which is number 4. Ito. Yan. Kaya importante na nagre-rename para hindi tayo malito. And then, kukunin ko din yung project value, which is from module 5 naman. Module 5, project value. Ito. Yan. Okay. And there you go. Yun na yung automation. The next step is, madali lang mag-draft. As long as you know the modules na available. And again, matututunan mo to by understanding use cases and practicing. Questions so far before natin i-test? Sana mag-run. Tingnan ko nga kung may questions. Technical team pa-assist sa questions ha, kasi hindi ko nakikita. Hindi ko nakikita yung questions. Wala pa. Okay.
Feeling ko
trigger na natin
yung
siya.
audience natin right now.
Ito pala yung save button, yes.
Ang question pa lang po is kung recorded and para sa lahat po.
So, ito na yung workflow natin. Let's turn it on. Yan, naka-on na siya. So, ibig sabihin, nag-iintay na siya ng trigger. May isa pa akong, sorry, nakalimutan. Mag-a-add pala ako ng filter. Kasi every time na mag-change yung status, whether to do, in progress, complete, anumang status yan, matitrigger tong automation na to. Pero that's not what we want. It should be only when the status is draft. Okay? Pero just to illustrate, I will trigger this. Okay? Matitrigger siya kahit na gawin ko siyang accepted. Titrigger yan. Yan o, na-trigger siya. So what do we do? Maglalagay tayo ng filter such that hindi siya matitrigger sa iba't ibang statuses. Only in one specific status, which is yung draft. Pintayin mo natin siya. Mukhang okay naman siya. Nagra-run naman siya. Ayan, nagra-run na po siya, guys. Pag nagkakaroon ng dot doon, ng number, ibig sabihin, nag-consume siya ng isang operation. Hintayin lang natin. Kailangan po ng credit. May nagtanong, ask ko lang po, baka pwede ko po magamit si Chat AI ng free. Pwede mo siyang gamitin ng free, I think, yung normal na chat. Pero kung gagamitin mo siya sa make.com, kailangan mo ng credits. And I paid like $10 na credits, pero simula April pa yon, November na ngayon. $3 pa lang yung nagagamit. So, sobrang sulit. Okay, nag-run siya successfully, walang red dot, walang warning, walang error. Ibig sabihin, nag-run siya. Pero lalagyan ko muna ng filter ha. The filter should be, yung filter nilalagay yan dito sa mga connectors, yung 3 dots na yan, in between. So dito maglalagay ako ng filter. Yan. Ang filter ko ay, ang status, ito, status should be draft. Okay? So, best practice is, lagi kong nilalagay na equal to case insensitive saka contains case insensitive. So, bakit ganun? Para kasi pag medyo may capital letters, hindi na magra-run yung automation nyo. So, pag sinabing case sensitive, whether capitalize yan or small letters, madetect pa rin niya. Tapos, make sure to name your filter. Status is set to draft. Yan. If and only if the status is set to draft, dun lang magra-run yung automation. Okay? So for example, going back dun sa sample data natin, pag ginawa ko tong to do, hindi yan magra-run. Yan. Hindi siya mag-go through. Matitrigger siya pero hindi siya tutuloy hanggang dun sa ChatGPT. So pansin nyo to, ito nag-run na siya. Pero 2 operations lang yung nagamit. Let me show you. Ibig sabihin, hanggang dito lang siya. Kasi yung status ay to do, hindi draft. Yan, hindi siya equal sa draft. So na-filter out na natin na it will only run pag ang status ay draft. Pero actually, this already ran. Diba? Tama ba? Nag-run na to. I-refresh natin. Dapat nag-run na siya kanina. Refreshing. May questions pa ba? Gaano po katagal gumawa ng automation? Ito, relatively, medyo moderate siguro to. I would charge 200 sa automation na to Pero ilang minutes ko lang ginawa, guys. Kasi alam ko na yung pipindutin So the key is to really be very familiar with the workflow design. Pero you can do it in minutes. You can do it in minutes, literally. And you can charge maybe, minimum ko sa automation ay 100. Pag sobrang complex pa, na kailangan ng parang malaki yung automation, 500, gano'n. Depende kung gaano ka-complex. At depende kung ano yung value ng automation na yun. So for example, kung makakasave naman si client ng full-time employee, di ba? 160 hours per month. Imagine mo kung gaano yung value nun. Pwede kang mag-charge ng malaki. Kasi kung cost benefit analysis mo na you're paying for, let's say, $1,000 for this automation. Pero ang masasave mo naman is every month in a year is this amount. Diba? Dollars po yan, dollars. $100. Isang automation na simple. Pag medyo complex, 500. Pag medyo talagang malupit na automation, 1,000. Ganun. Okay. So, nag-run na siya kanina kasi wala tayong filter. So, as you can see, na-fill out na yung project value. Grabe naman magpresyo tong si ChatGPT. Kalahating million agad. Okay, you mean like dyan, 200 per month? Hindi po. Ang automation ay setup. One time, big time setup. $200. Pero, kailangan mo ng maintenance dyan. So, mag-o-offer ka ng maintenance. Ibig sabihin ng ongoing support. Depende kung gaano kadami yung automation ni client. For us, it can be as low as ano kayo isang natin? 250 per month na automation support. Ang gagawin lang namin, babantayan namin yung automation. Pag may error, i-ayos namin. Pero kung maganda yung pagkakagawa ng automation, halos wala ka nang gagawin eh. It's really a matter of checking, nag-work ba, nag-work on a daily basis. Pag may error, meron na rin kaming automation na nagsisend ng Slack message para madali naming nakikita. Minsan, i-turn on mo lang din yun. Nagkaroon lang siguro ng server update si ClickUp pa yan, nag-off. Pero pag na-set up mo na yung automation, okay na yun, that's good to go. Okay. So, andito na yung proposal. Ayan. I-review mo na lang. And then, nag-suggest na rin siya ng project value na pagkamahal. Hindi ko alam kung ano to. Okay, ang next naman na automation natin is, we want this proposal, let's say na-QA mo na, happy ka naman dito sa mga pinagsasabi ni ChatGPT at gusto mo na siyang isend kay client. Yan, in a document format. So what I will do is I will show you another automation. Pero instead of using the status update trigger, I'll create a different approach naman, which is webhook naman. So webhook, paborito namin yung webhook kasi napaka-flexible niya. Tapos pwede mo siyang i-retrigger without recreating the same situation. So i-draft proposal in a Google Doc na. Google Doc. So ang gagamitin kong trigger ay webhook. Webhook is available lang, I think, din to sa paid subscription ng Make. So, custom webhook yung pinili natin. Just click add. It will generate a URL. I want to name the webhook para hindi ako nalito kasi medyo marami na akong webhook. This is when generate doc proposal. Para maalala ko siya. Click save. Tapos mag-generate na siya ng URL. Ito yung webhook URL. Copy mo lang yan. Okay? Saan mo yun gagamitin? Kinapi ko na yung URL. Sa ClickUp, meron siyang automation na pwede kang mag-send ng data sa webhook. In this case, you can dictate what trigger you want. So in this case, I want when the status changes to generate doc, yan, status changes to send data to a webhook. Call webhook. Dito mo na ngayon i-paste yung URL. Okay? So, the good thing about this type of trigger is very specific siya. Hindi ka na kailangan mag-add ng filter kasi dito lang talaga siya mati-trigger. Compared dun sa una nating ginawa na any status change, mati-trigger siya, kaya tayo nag-add ng filter para hindi siya mag-go through every time. This automation, definitely, hindi mo na kailangan ng filter. Again, after the trigger, kailangan natin ng get a task, di ba? Just like before, para makuha natin lahat ng data. The difference is that ito, iba, payload na to, hindi na to task ID. So, if I want to run this module only, to trigger that, for example, gawin kong generate doc to, mati-trigger dapat yan, di ba? Ayun, na-trigger na siya. Ito yung sample data niya. And then, I can now pull it up. Actually, hindi ko ma-pull up. Delete ko muna. Let's try again. Get a task. Piliin ang tamang account. Okay. So, mapapansin nyo, iba yung, wala siyang task. Pag tinype ko dyan, task ID, hindi nag-appear. Kasi iba yung format nito kasi webhook. Ang task ID actually ay nandito sa payload. Tapos, ito yung ID. Click mo lang yan. Yan. So, it's slightly different pero it's gonna be the same case every time. Okay. Next. Nakuha na natin yung data ng task. Kita pa rin ba? Ang next module na natin is yung Google Doc. Mag-create na tayo ng Google Doc. The module that you will choose is create a document from a template. And I think this will require a paid Google subscription. If you want to use Google API or Google modules, you need to have a paid subscription. Then, ang kukunin natin na field is yung document ID. So, meron na tayong document, di ba? Ito, yung template na ginawa natin. This is the doc. So, we just need to locate it sa Drive. I think I also named it ComCon. And then, let me select the document, which is ito, Project Proposal Template. So once na-select mo yan, maglalabas na yung mga fields na meron. Ito yun, yan, day-to-day, client name, yung mga brackety things, mga variables na sinet natin dito, mag-a-appear na doon. Kung wala siyang bracket, hindi mag-a-appear yung fields dito. So magiging container siya ng mga data na gusto nating i-pull up. Sa day-to-day, ang day-to-day, kung mapapansin nyo dito sa window na lagi nag-a-appear pag nilalagay ko yung cursor dun sa field, or sa field na pwede kong lagyan ng data, may iba-ibang tabs dito actually. Itong sa star, ito yung data na available sa previous modules yan. May module tayo ng get a task, yan yung mga data na available. May module tayo ng webhook, ito yung mga data na available sa atin. Let's move to the next one. Ito naman, general functions. Yan, meron tayong mga functions dito, mga keywords na i-click mo. And then, if you hover your mouse there, kung marunong kayo ng konti sa Excel formula, it actually works in the same way. Kailangan mo lang i-follow yung syntax na recommended dito. So, yan yung syntax, ilalagay mo lang yung mga values na kailangan, and then it should work. In this case, ang date today is actually, this is math functions, ito naman text functions or string, ito naman yung date. So, ito yung kailangan natin. Kailangan nating malaman yung date today. And then, meron ng ready-made na or available na variable which is timestamp and now. So we're gonna use now, which is the current date and time. Okay? Pero that's not enough. We have to format it in a way that we like or kung ano yung suitable sa situation. So ito yung mga functions for date type of data. We will format it according to what we like. So i-click nyo lang yon. And then, again, i-hover your mouse. It will show you the syntax na kailangan yung i-follow. Ibig sabihin, you have to put the data in here sa first column, which is now. And then yung format na gusto nyo. So, ang format na gusto ko is month, may day, may comma, and then may year. Si Make has a full documentation kung ano yung mga format na available. So for example, other format na madalas gamitin is may mm/dd/yyyy. So yan yung madalas din gamitin. Okay, ganun lang din naman. Anyway, mga sample naman dito. And you can always search sa documentation ni make.com ng date formatting. Tuturuan ka nila kung ano yung mga ito. Kailangan lang resourceful ka. Maganda naman yung documentation ni make.com eh. I-follow mo lang kung ano yung mga format na nandun. So, kunwari, sa ClickUp, actually, ang ginagamit ng format sa ClickUp ay mmddyy. Andito na yun. Yan. Ito yung gagamitin mo na code. Kung ang gusto mo ay, day of month with ordinal, ito yung gagamitin mo na code. So, balik tayo doon. So, for example, ang gusto ko na format ay Australian or UK. Ang lalagay ko ay DOMMM. Ang MMM ay, ito, kunwari yung spelled out, 4 na M. Yan, hindi ko to sa Olo actually. So, kailangan lang talaga, magbasa ka lang ng documentation. So, ang tama ba? Ang DO ay, ito, yan. Di ba ganyan yung UK, Australian type of date format. Yan, so nalagay na natin. And then client name. Balik tayo sa mga variables na available sa atin. Client name. Wala akong client name. Ay, kunin muna natin ha. Sorry po. Kuha tayo ng sample data. So, ang gagawin lang natin ay get a task, run this module only. Kuha tayo ng task ID na available dito. Task ID dito, 3 dots, copy ID. Yan. Kuha na natin yung task ID. And then, let's run this. Mag-run kaya to? Parang custom ID yata yun. Sorry. Kunin ko yung task ID. Para madali, pakita ko na lang sa column. Ito. Sana yan? Ito, task ID. Copy, task ID. Right-click, run this module only. Paki-remove yung hashtag and click OK. So, kaya natin nire-run this module only para makuha natin lahat ng mga variables na available and then mag-appear siya dito sa module na next. Ayan, nag-appear na siya, di ba? Kailangan ko ng client name. Ito. Client name. Pansin nyo, hindi pa rin siya nag-a-appear. Tama? Hindi pa rin siya nag-a-appear, no? So, why? Why does that happen? Kasi, nauna kong i-create yung module na to kesa dito. Kesa nung nirun ko siya. So, ang ginagawa ko na trick dyan is either I clone this. Kino-clone ko yan, pero magre-remap na naman ako. Magre-remap na naman ako. Pero yan, pag bago na siya, so in terms of the chronological order ng modules, kung nirun mo yung previous module, dun lang lalabas yung data. And because this is a new module, nag-appear na siya. So let me just remap ha. Yun lang naman yung medyo tricky dito. Hindi lumalabas yung mga data. Kasi nauna kong i-create. Pag may question, mag-ano lang ha. Sabihin nyo lang ako. Okay, balik tayo dito sa day-to-day. Format. Day-to-day. And then, ang format na ginawa natin ay DO, MMMM, YYYY. Okay, client name. Balik tayo sa variables. Type nyo lang yan. And then click. Company name natin is yung task name. So, click lang. Proposal is, nandun na siya sa proposal. Project brief ba yun? Ito, proposal. Project value. Type lang. So, medyo magkiklik ka lang na magkiklik dito. Ma-map mo lang yung data. Proposal ID, hindi natin lalagyan ng laman yan. Title, lagay natin proposal, tapos lagyan natin ng pangalan ng company, which is task name. Yan. Tapos saan mo daw siya isi-save? Save mo lang siya sa same folder. Dito. Okay. So may doc na tayo. Tapos ang gusto ko, ilagay ko yung link ng document kay ClickUp. Okay, so naglagay tayo ng edit a task with custom fields na module. So may nilagay na tayo na field kanina na proposal link. And then, ipipaste natin yung link ng document doon para hindi na natin siya hahanapin sa Drive. Okay. Folder list, proposals list. And then yung task ID map, kunin lang natin yung same task ID from the previous modules. Yan. And then ang ilalagay natin ay yung proposal link. So dahil ano na tayo, alam ko na yung link na yon. Yan, pag niltanite niyo yung link ng Google Doc, syempre hanapin natin. Maraming links, di ba? Ang hahanapin nyo lang ay yung web view link. Yan. So, pinabilis ko na yung buhay nyo. Hindi nyo na kailangan mag-trial and error. Nung ginagawa ko to before, lahat ng links na yan, tinry ko. And then, tinest ko. Okay, hindi yon. So, eto. Yun yung mga matutunan nyo sa akin. Kasi, natry ko na lahat. Natry ko na ng trial and error. Hindi nyo na kailangan magsunog ng kilay. Ito yung link na kailangan natin. And then, we're done. Okay, we're done na. Save na natin yung automation and then i-turn on natin. And then i-trigger natin syempre. Okay? Before natin i-generate ng doc, make sure na nandun na yung proposal field, di ba? Na-generate ni ClickUp API. Kin-UA nyo na dapat yan before nyo i-generate yung doc. Kin-UA nyo na, wala nang missing data. Tama yung spelling. Yung project value, medyo babaan natin. Parang masyadong mahal. 5,000. Okay. Actually, nag-create na siya ng link. Let me generate it here and then wait for the automation to run. Nagra-run na siya. It's currently running. Refresh. Just now. Okay, nagbigay na daw ng link. Okay, ito na yung link, guys. Ayan, nandyan na siya. Nandyan na yung proposal, meron na ring investment, total investment. Yan. Okay, and then again, i-QA nyo ulit. Make sure na tama yung form. Bakit ganito yung format? Ito ba yung format na nilagay natin? Iba yung format na nilagay ko dito sa doc. And then, once we're done, isi-send na natin yung proposal. So, paano natin gagawin yon? Pwedeng, actually, pwedeng the moment na malagay yung proposal link, isend na natin kay client or mag-add tayo ng isa pang trigger. Add tayo ng isang status. Akala ko nag-add ako ng status na isa. Status, proposal, sent. Yan. Apply changes. Okay. So, sa ClickUp, pwede kang magawa ng email automation. Pero hindi siya mag-a-appear dito, guys. So, you have to switch to browse. Okay. And then, dito mo hanapin yung email sa left side. Pili ka lang, I think when status changes, parang walang option. Pili lang tayo. And then you have to sign in sa account. May bayad to. It's dalawa lang yung account na pwedeng i-connect kay ClickUp. And then pag meron pang ibang team members na kailangan ng email automation, I think it's $2 per month. Ayan. Connect mo lang. And then ang trigger natin is when status is changed to proposal sent, magsisend na siya ng email. Okay. Client email, mayroon naman siyang recommended kung kanino isisend. Ilagay ko yung email ko as BCC para makita natin yung itsura ng email. And then, ito ay proposal for task name. So, pwede ka mag-add ng variables. We are pleased to send our proposal. Hindi ko na artihan. Tapos, pwede mong kunin yung fields, yung proposal link. You may access using the link below. Okay. Dagdagan nyo na lang ng arte. Pero ang gusto ko lang ay maipakita. Okay. So, if I put this to proposal sent, malalaman nyo na nag-send na siya ng email dito sa comment area. Ayan. Ayan. Mag-comment na siya. And then, let's go to my email. Let's see kung na-receive natin. Ito na siya. Ayan. So, pwede kang mag-send ng proposal in seconds if you want to. And that's how, for us, it's very helpful kasi madali kaming nakaka-close ng deal. Ang trick kasi sa sales ay kailangan mabilis ka, ma-close mo yung deal habang nandun pa yung need. Kasi pag the next day, posibleng magbago pa yung isip ng client mo. So, the faster you can send the proposal, the faster they can decide. And usually, kaya sila naghahanap ng tao to work on a project is because may emergency, may urgent need. And if you can capture that need straight away by sending a proposal really, really fast, then mas mataas yung possibility na ma-close mo yung deal. And that's how you create a document using automation. So, ito, ginagamit na namin to internally. We send proposals matagal na yung the day after. Pag medyo kailangang i-review at complex yung process or yung project na kailangan ko talagang pag-isipan na paano tayo kikita sa project na to, ilang oras kailang gamitin. Questions. Okay, and there you have it.
Ay,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Hindi ko alam kung anong oras na. Sobrang nagtagal yata tayo.
Nasa zone ka na eh, no? Nang paulit lang po nung pag-show nung email kasi
na tayo eh. Kundi nag-trial and error pa tayo on the spot. Ayun po. Salamat sa mga questions. Alam ko medyo slightly technical. Pero, again, once sa matutunan nyo yung skill na to, you are indispensable. Sobrang madaming clients na nagtatanong ng mga ganitong automation. This is one of the most requested. Ayan.
Okay lang if you can reshare yung email, yung screen mo dun sa email. Kasi ang kita pa rin namin until now is yung ClickUp.
Ay, oo kasi, sorry. Ano kasi to eh.
Naka-share tab ka ata, I'm not sure.
Oo, naka-share tab ako kasi baka may ma-share na hindi.
Okay
Stop
lang.
screen and then share.
Yes. Tapos meron pa tayong isang
entire screen.
Meron pa tayong mga few questions din. Konti lang.
Ito siya. Ayan. Kita ba?
Yep. Okay.
Ayan po. So nilagay ko yung company name sa subject. So personalized pa rin siya. Diba? Hindi lang ako naglagay ng mga dear, ganyan, and mga signature. Pero you can.
You can.
Binilisan na lang natin. Yes. So, ito yung link. Ayan. So, pwede siyang ma-access ni client. And then they can, the reason we do it first in a Google Doc is para pwede mag-add ng comment si client. Kasi minsan naman hindi pa finalize, mag-negotiate pa, may dadagdag pa sila. And then, once it's final, that's when we send it through DocuSign or in our case, sign request.
Yes.
Additional module if you convert sa PDF, yes. You can do that. If you want to, you can add another module here. Kung ayaw mo ng link, pwede rin naman. What you can do is add a module here na doc, saan na ba yung download a document. Ito. Download a document, i-map mo aling document from the previous module, which is yung number 5, document ID, and then choose mo anong gusto mo, PDF. Yan. Download nyo na yan. And then, pwede mo siyang i-upload kay ClickUp.
Yes.
Yan. Upload task. And then, ayun na. Nag-suggest naman na siya na Google Docs, download the document. Naka-select na yan. And then, task ID is kung ano yung task ID ng previous module. That should be the same task anyway. And then, that's it. We can trigger this if you want to. Ano nga to? Ano nga tong trigger daw? Draft proposal. Okay, generate doc yung trigger natin. Yan. Magkakaroon na yung attachment.